Morning students. Last class you have discussed about the SDPF block elements and their properties, and today we will discuss about the periodic trend as well as the metals, non-metals, metalloids, their characteristics. So in metals comprise more than 78% of all known elements and appear on the left side of the periodic table. Okay, so you can see here in the periodic table, left side is occupied by which one? Metals, and right side is occupied by which one here? Non-metals, and the middle one or the zigzag line, this is actually comprising the metalloids. That means that are sharing both the characteristics of metals as well as non-metals. Okay, so now this is your periodic table given in your book. So on the basis of that I am explaining. Now we are coming, so 78% means it is coming about the metals here. Metals are usually solid at room temperature. एक exception है, that is mercury. And then one is the gallium and cesium also have very low melting and boiling point. So low melting point, that is 303 Kelvin and 302 Kelvin. Okay, so actually this is coming about the metals are solid, but exception is coming about the mercury. It is liquid in nature, and metals usually have the high melting and boiling point. And what is the exception coming here? Gallium and cesium that can melt in our palm. Okay, so it is like 303 means which one? 273 Kelvin is 0 degrees Celsius. So that means it is coming about the 27 plus 30 degrees Celsius. Yeah, like this one 29 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius. So in that condition it can melt in our palm also. So they have very low melting point. Exception. They are good conductors of heat and electricity because they have the loose electron or free electron in their outermost shell, and they are good conductors of heat electricity. They are malleable. Malleable means that can be beaten into thin sheet by hammering, or flattened, beaten or flattened, whatever you can say, and ductile, can be drawn into wires. So these are the characteristics shown by which one? Metals. And in contrast, non-metals are located at the top right hand side of the periodic table. In fact, in a horizontal row, the property of elements change from metallic on left to the non-metallic on the right. So already I have shown to you, this is actually our non-metals, top right of the we can say the periodic table. And when you are going from left to right in a period, so we can see the metallic characteristics is decreasing and non-metallic characteristics is increasing. Okay, so actually metallic characteristics depend upon how easily they can lose their electron, and the non-metallic characteristics depend upon the which one? How easily they can accept the electron. So as all of we know, when you are going from left to right, so atomic size is decreasing as the effective nuclear charge is increasing. Already it is discussed earlier. So at that condition, when the atomic size is reducing, it is very difficult for an atom to release the electron. Why? Because nucleus is attracting the electron very hardly. And when it is going to the about to the end where the atomic size is reduced in extreme, at that condition they can easily accept the electron. Why? Because nucleus and the valence shell is very close to each other comparison to this one. Okay, so this is 281, 282, 283, 284. This is electronic configuration I am saying. So 287, that means 17 protons are attracting 17 electron, and outermost valence shell, how many electrons are there? 7 electrons are there. So at that condition they are attracting it very strongly. So atomic size is reduced here, and it is very easy for that atom to accept the electron. So non-metallic characteristics is increasing, whereas the metallic characteristics is decreasing. Clear? So now we are coming for the non-metals. They are usually solids or gases at room temperature. Bromine is the exception. Here it is not written, I have given in the notes. So bromine is the exception, which is actually liquid in nature with low and melting boiling point, but boron and carbon has high melting and boiling point. So these are the exception. Already I have given there. The elements become more metallic as we go down a group, and the non-metallic character increases as one goes from left to right. Already I told that one. Okay, so when non-metallic characteristics is, when you are going from left to right is increasing, but metallic characteristics is decreasing. Okay, and when you are going down the group, so one condition I am showing here, if we are discussing, so this is the, we are saying this is the first, and now it is little bit reduced, again it is reduced, again it is reduced, again it is reduced. Okay, so at that condition when you are going to the last, so this is the atomic size, because suppose 11, 12, if we are starting from sodium, magnesium, aluminium, then it is coming about the silicon, then phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. So when we are going from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so at that condition we can say the electrons are increasing as well, the protons are also increasing, and all are coming in same valence cell. Suppose it is 281, this is 282, this is 283, so same valence cell. What is the valence cell here? KLM 281. So all of they are having KLM cell, but one by one the electrons are increasing in the last valence cell, as well as in the center also, at the nucleus also protons are increasing. So definitely the effective nuclear charge means the nucleus and the outermost valence cell, क्योंकि distance कम होते जा रहे हैं तो attraction is increasing, strongly attracted हो जाएगा, तो atomic radius क्या हो गया? Reduce. Now when you are going down the group, so it is coming one by one, the shells are added. This will be coming KLMN, this will be coming the KLMNO. So in that condition it will be increasing. So it is increasing, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost valence cell is also increasing. So where the attraction will be less? Here the attraction will be less between the valence electron and the nucleus. So the electrons can easily be lost. So that's why the metallic characteristics is increasing when you are going down the group, and metallic characteristics is decreasing when you are going from left to right in a period, and it is the non-metallic characteristics increasing when you are going from left to right in a period. That's all. Next one coming, most non-metallics are solid. Already I told you bromine is the exception here, and it is already discussed. The change from metallic to non-metallic character is not abrupt, as shown by the thick zigzag line in the figure 3.3. Already figure 3.3 I am showing here, 3.2 here, and it is coming 3.3. Here this is the zigzag line is given to us. So look at here. So silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, selenium, polonium, astatine. These are 7. These are actually called the metalloids. That is also called semi-metal or the metalloids, because they are sharing both the characteristics of metals as well as the non-metals, and they are showing by this zigzag line. This line is called zigzag, ZZ, and that's why they are called the metalloids. So now it is coming about the periodic table. So over now it is also called show the properties that are characteristics of both metals and non-metals. Okay, these elements are called semi-metals or metalloids. Okay, now we are coming for the periodic trend. One example is given to us, problem 3.4. So just go through it, and then again we will discuss afterwards. So now we are coming for periodic trends in properties of elements. So what are the periodic trends we have to discuss in the period? We have to discuss first. What are the physical properties we have to discuss here? First one is the atomic ionic radii, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity. So these 5 points are there where you have to focus. So first one is the atomic radius. So it is very dizzy, or it is very difficult to measure the atom's radius, because the size are always measured in which one? Angstrom, yeah, 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So at that condition it's very small. And secondly, these two difficulties are there. Always it is asked why the atomic radius cannot be measured very easily. So this is the first point. This is firstly. And secondly, since the electron cloud surrounding the atom does not have a sharp boundary, the determination of the atomic size cannot be precise. Okay, because electron clouds are present surrounding the nucleus, so that's why it is very difficult to measure the atomic radius. So what are the actually solution for that now? So what is the partial approach here? Now to estimate the size of an atom जो non-metallic elements की हो, measure the distance between two atoms when they are bound together by a single bond in a covalent molecule, and from this value the covalent radius of the element can be calculated. Okay, so this is actually the condition. I can show you covalent radius, and in that condition I can show you here. It is not okay. So we can see here covalent radius as well as the, we can say one more. So first we'll complete that one, then I'll discuss. So covalent radius in which condition? In case of non-metal. In case of metal, an example is given to us for chlorine. Chlorine is non-metal, all of you know. And the chlorine जो molecule होता है, उस molecule में क्या होता है ना, दो chlorine atom है ना, one chlorine atom is here and another chlorine atom that is here, or we can actually, so if we are discussing in that way, so these are the two chlorine atom. Okay, so it is coming, this is the distance, when they are bonded together, this is the distance between the two nucleus, and that is called covalent radius. This is called covalent radius. And at that condition, suppose one example is given to us, the chlorine molecule. So what is the chlorine molecule के लिए क्या है, ये chlorine atom, ये chlorine atom, तो chlorine molecule के लिए क्या हो गया ना, 198 picometer, ठीक है, distance. But if we have to find out the chlorine atom की जो आपको अगर फाइंड आउट करना है एटॉमिक रेडियस क्या है, तो जस्ट उसको हाफ कर देना है एंड इट इज कमिंग अबाउट द 99 पिकोमीटर. समझ में आ गया कोवलेंट रेडियस. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन यू आर कमिंग जो फॉर मेटल्स, ये तो हो गया नॉन मेटल्स के लिए. फॉर मेटल्स में क्या है ना, मेटेलिक रेडियस इज टर्म and which is taken as the half of the internuclear distance separating the metal cores in the metallic crystal. For example, the distance between two adjacent copper atoms in solid copper is 256 picometer. Hence, the metallic radius of the copper is assigned a value of 128 picometer. वही सेम बात है, अगर दोनों के बीच अगर रेडियस आपको कन्फाइन करना है ना, दोनों के बीच अगर रेडियस आपको दोनों इंटरन्यूक्लियर डिस्टेंस आपको फाइंड आउट करना है. कॉपर के लिए क्या हो गया, इंटरन्यूक्लियर डिस्टेंस दैट इज कमिंग अबाउट द 256 पिकोमीटर. एंड व्हेन वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट द कॉपर एटॉम की जो एटॉमिक रेडियस, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, मेटेलिक, क्योंकि मेटल है इसलिए मेटेलिक रेडियस बोलेंगे. और उसको हम कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे ना, हाफ ऑफ दैट वन, दैट मीन्स इट इज कमिंग 128 पिकोमीटर. Clear now? So this is called covalent radius if it is the non-metal, and if it is metal, it is coming about which one? The metallic radius. Clear now? One more radius is there, van der Waals. I think it is given here. Okay, so atomic radius is referred to both the covalent and metallic radius depending on whether the element is non-metal or metal. Okay, and next one is coming. And it is coming about the elements, the atomic size. Now, if we are discussing about the atomic size here, अच्छा, last time discussing this one, this is called actually covalent radii को आपको van der Waals radii में कब जरूरत होता है, जैसे atomic radii of noble gases के लिए, है ना, are not considered here being monoatomic. They are monoatomic in nature क्योंकि कोई bond नहीं होता है उसमें. They are non-reactive in nature, तो that's why they are not bonded with other atom, है ना, तो इसमें non-bonded radii है ये. Values are very large. In fact, radii of the noble gases should be compared not with the covalent radii but with the van der Waals radii. तो van der Waals radii किसको बोलेंगे, देखो जैसे van der Waals radii किसको बोलेंगे ना, डिस्टेंस है ना, between which one, now we can say about the atoms of the two molecules. Suppose one more atom I am discussing here. here it is one more molecule again, है ना. तो दिस इज द डिस्टेंस, इट इज कोवैलेंट. बट दिस डिस्टेंस है ना, जो बॉन्डेड नहीं है, मॉलिक्यूल्स विच आर एक्चुअली एटॉम्स विच आर नॉट बॉन्डेड, उसके बीच जो डिस्टेंस है, दिस डिस्टेंस इज नोन एज विच वन, वैन डर वाल, है ना, वैन डर वाल है ना रेडाई. तो इसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, वैन डर वाल रेडाई. जैसे इन केस ऑफ द वैन डर वाल रेडाई, जैसे मान लो ये डिस्टेंस कितना है 360 है ना, मान लो 360 पिकोमीटर. सो व्हाट विल बी द वैन डर वाल रेडियस नाउ, वैन डर वाल रेडियस क्या हो जाएगा ना, दैट इज कमिंग अबाउट विच वन, 360/2 दैट इज 180 पिकोमीटर. मीन्स नॉन बॉन्डेड है ना, ये चीज़ हो जाएगा. क्योंकि नोबेल गैसेस के लिए क्या होता है, दे आर नॉट बॉन्डेड, किसी के साथ बॉन्ड नहीं बनाते. तो इसीलिए नॉन बॉन्डेड एटॉम की जो इंटरन्यूक्लियर डिस्टेंस, उसके बीच जो डिस्टेंस, उसको ही हम क्या बोलेंगे, वैन डर वाल रेडियस है ना. मतलब उसकी जो हाफ आएगा दैट इज कॉल्ड वैन डर वाल रेडियस. क्योंकि जो नोबेल गैसेस है उसके लिए हम वैन डर वाल रेडियस बोलेंगे. अदरवाइज जो मेटल और नॉन मेटल्स कंडीशन में होता है नॉर्मली, दैट इज एक्चुअली कमिंग अबाउट द मेटेलिक रेडियस एंड दैट इज कोवैलेंट रेडियस. Now we are trained, we have to discuss now. So what is the trend here? We can see here, if we are discussing about the second period helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine, we can see the atomic size is increasing here. Decreasing here. So 152, 111, 88, 77, 74, 66 and 64. One graphical representation is given to us. What is the graphical representation here? Look at here. This is the lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Here atomic size or atomic radius is here decreasing. Clear? As atomic size is decreasing, definitely atomic radius also will be decreasing. In case of third period wale sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, here also you can see the atomic radius is decreasing. Clear now? So second and third period is given to us. Now if we are discussing about the groups, so first group it is coming lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Here you can see the atomic radius is increasing. Look at the 152, 186, 231 and 244, 262. Clear? And here also in case of the group 17, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, here you can see here the again same thing, same trend is coming, that is atomic radius is increasing. So when you are going down the group, atomic radius is increasing. Why? The atomic size is increasing, that's all. And here you can see here, when you are going from left to right in a period, the atomic size is decreasing. And as well as the effective nuclear charge is increasing, and atomic radius is also decreasing here. So, okay, these two conditions are over. Now we are coming for the ionic radius. That is the removal of an electron from an atom results in the formation of which one? Now that is actually cation. And if it is one electron is added there, that is called anion. Okay, so now we are coming the ionic radii can be estimated by. देखिए ये बहुत ही important एक बात है कि measuring the distances between cations and anions in an ionic crystal. ठीक है, ये चीज़ आपको समझ में आएगा थोड़ी देर बाद, क्योंकि दोनों कैटायन और एनायन की जो कंबाइंड डिस्टेंस है उसको फिर एक नोन डिस्टेंस से डिडक्ट किया जाएगा, तो फिर आपको जो आपको रिक्वायर्ड आयन की रेडियस है वो आपको मिल जाएगा. Okay, so now it is coming. I'm just showing the figure here. Look at here. If we are discussing about the sodium plus and chlorine minus, है ना? So this is the sodium plus, मान लो, है ना? And this one is the, we can say here, थोड़ा सा बड़ा आएगा, sorry, है ना? Chlorine minus. तो यहाँ पे ये जो है, this is actually coming as which one? This is called cation, है ना? Cation radius. और this one is called this one is called anion radius, है ना? So this is cation radius, this is anion radius. Now if any one, unless and until one radius of an atom is known to us, we cannot find out the other. So, okay, so different procedures are there. So very effective procedures is Pauling's method. This Pauling's method, सो वी कैन फाइंड आउट द एनी पर्टिकुलर आयन की रेडियस हम फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. ये डिफरेंट प्रोसीजर है जो हायर स्टडी में आप स्टडी कर सकते हो. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो, कोई एक का आपको रेडियस अगर नोन है तो बाकी का आपको फाइंड आउट हो जाएगा. ठीक है, जैसे मान लो यहाँ पे सोडियम प्लस का है 95, सोडियम प्लस का है 95 पिकोमीटर. सो डेफिनेटली तो क्लोरीन माइनस टोटल सपोज आपको मिल गए, टोटल जो रेडियस आपको मिले 276 है ना. तो मान लो ये टोटल जो रेडियस है ना, ये टोटल रेडियस आपको मिल गए 276 पिकोमीटर. और सोडियम प्लस के अलग से पॉलिंग्स मेथड से आपको मिले 95 picometer. So chlorine minus की क्या आ जाएगा 276 minus 95, that means it is coming here 181. Okay, so 181 picometer is coming for chlorine minus. So in that way we can find out the ionic radius. But what is the trend now? Trend क्या होता है? Now the size a cation is smaller than its parent atom because it has fewer electrons while its nuclear charge remains the same. And the size of an anion will be larger than that of the parent atom because the addition of one or more electrons would result repulsion, increased repulsion among the electrons and a decrease in effective nuclear charge. So look at here, I am just drawing one more figure here, sodium है ना. तो ये सोडियम क्या है, एटम है, इसकी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आपके एटॉमिक नंबर क्या है 11 है. सोडियम प्लस क्या है, तो यहाँ पे प्रोटॉन क्या है 11, इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या है 11. ओके, इन केस ऑफ सोडियम प्लस ये क्या है ना आयन है ना. कौन सा आयन है, कैटायन है. इसकी जो एटॉमिक यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा 10, इलेक्ट्रॉन कितना हो जाएगा क्योंकि एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लॉस्ट होगी इसलिए 1 प्लस चार्ज आ गए. तो इलेक्ट्रॉन 10 है और प्रोटॉन क्या है 11. तो डेफिनेटली अट्रैक्शन क्या, न्यूक्लियस, प्रोटॉन कहाँ पे रहता है न्यूक्लियस में रहता है. तो अट्रैक्शन ऑफ द, अभी क्या हो गया इसके पास ना, इलेक्ट्रॉन कम हो गया और प्रोटॉन ज़्यादा हो गया. तो डेफिनेटली अट्रैक्शन क्या होगा, ज़्यादा होगा. पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव है ये, तो अट्रैक्शन क्या हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. तो एट दैट कंडीशन इसकी इफेक्टिव न्यूक्लियर चार्ज क्या हो जाएगा, इफेक्टिव न्यूक्लियर चार्ज लेस हो जाएगा. सॉरी, इफेक्टिव न्यूक्लियर चार्ज क्या हो जाएगा, मोर हो जाएगा. एंड इसकी एटॉमिक रेडियस मीन्स आयोनिक रेडियस पेरेंट एटम से कम हो जाएगा. दैट मीन्स कैटायन की जो आयोनिक रेडियस इज द लेस देन द पेरेंट एटम. क्लियर. और अगर हम क्लोरीन ले लेते हैं तो क्लोरीन एटम में इसका एटॉमिक नंबर क्या है 17 और इसकी प्रोटॉन क्या हो जाएगा 17, इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या हो जाएगा 17. क्लोरीन माइनस ये क्या हुआ, आयन. कौन सा आयन है, एनायन. तो एनायन में इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या हो जाएगा, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लिए इसने, तो इलेक्ट्रॉन हो जाएगा 18 और प्रोटॉन क्या था 17 ऑलरेडी था. तो 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर मोर, सो दे विल रिपील ईच अदर, है ना, रिपल्सन आएगा. और इफेक्टिव न्यूक्लियर चार्ज क्या हो जाएगा, लेस हो जाएगा. और डेफिनेटली जब इफेक्टिव न्यूक्लियर चार्ज मतलब क्या है कि न्यूक्लियस कितना स्ट्रांगली अट्रैक्शन कर रहे किसको, वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन को. तो एट दैट कंडीशन जब ये कम हो जाएगा तो आयनिक रेडियस क्या हो जाएगा, ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. तो एनायन की जो आयनिक रेडियस, anionic रेडियस दैट इज मोर देन द पेरेंट एटम. क्लियर नो.